welcome to the first and the only podcast from the Somerset Light Blues Club, the Adair Club. I'm Mike Norton, and I'm chairman of the Adair Club and was recently elected into that role just a matter of weeks ago. I'm currently senior deacon at Portcullis Lodge in Langport, and in fact we are recording this podcast from the world famous Hanging Chapel. And with me today are Gaz Bottomley.
Hi.
And Tom Beasley. Say hello, Tom.
Hi.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for being the four guys with me in our pilot episode. Gaz, shall we start with you? You're past chairman of the club. You've got an interesting story to tell. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the club and what you've done.
I'm a senior deacon at the Royal Naval Lodge in Yeovil, and I'm past provincial Grand Steward. And I was given that honour for being chairman of the Adair Club for 3 years and evolving it from taking over from Sam Mayer, who has gone on to bigger and greater things too. I'm hoping you will go on and grow the club as well.
Well, I might need a bit of help about that.
Well, so, we're all here.
Tell us a bit about what you did when you were Grand Steward, because they're the fancy red aprons, aren't they?
Yeah, so with the Grand Steward, you go around with a fraternal team, different lodges that I've not visited before.
You even came here, didn't you?
I did, yes. We came with quite a big party, and squeezing into the Hanging Chapel if you've not been is quite hard. You come in as the DC, you announce who you're with, and then you form an escort and then bring the person in that you're with, either the PGM or the deputy. And then throughout that, you are just there on duty to escort them around.
Tom, then, tell us a little bit about yourself and your lodge and Freemasonry for you.
Yeah, so I am about to go into senior deacon as well. So we've got three almost senior deacons sat around the table here. My lodge is Love and Honour at Shepton Mallet. I've been a member there since 2015. So we've got lots of young Masons, which is great, which is really positive. On the flip side, you've got to wait a while to kind of progress through the various roles. So yeah, like I said, joined in 2015. My father-in-law is still a Mason, and it was him that kind of got me interested in it. And I've been a member of the Adair Club the last 3 years.
That's good, because you were a rep, if you like, in your area.
That's right.
Progressed to membership secretary?
That's correct. So I started off as a lodge rep and an area rep. That was quite fun. That was trying to get more people active within that area. At the same time you were elected chair, I was elected membership secretary.
Fantastic. And now, Gaz, what are you now at the Adair Club?
I've taken over the infamous role of being the treasurer, holding the money for all the events that we're going to get going. Any exciting things we want to spend the money on.
So what have we done in the past in the club?
Last year, a few things that we did was we went out and did normal visits. One of the most successful days was the beach day that we held. 2 barbecues, a vegan one as well, so we're all inclusive.
All inclusive.
Very good.
All inclusive.
And it was a family day, wasn't it?
Family day, 3 speedboats. Unfortunately, one broke down, but we still had 2 in reserve. But that was attended very well. There was over 50 people there on the day.
So the other thing that we do is not only organise socials, is I suppose the main thing we do is try and do visits together as a club.
Yeah, well, last month we ended up going to Wells, which was a great meeting.
So how many light blues did we have there? I couldn't make it because it was at my lodge night here, but we had...
So we had 18 in total, so we had 13 visits, and there were 5 in the lodge as well. So I think that's probably a record that we need to now try and beat.
That's good, because we had about a dozen when we went to Pilgrims, didn't we, in Glastonbury, and that was a good night.
That was good night.
So we've got one coming up. The next one actually is on it's a good segue, that, is the 6th of June, where we're going to be going to St Q Lodge.
That's right, see Chris.
In Weston-super-Mare.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get some bumper numbers up for that, and that's probably going to be one of the last craft meetings that we'll get, isn't it? Because there's not an awful lot going on in
that will probably be
summer months.
September, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be that until September.
Yeah, but then in September we've got Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. So you're going to that, Gaz, are you?
I'm going to make a weekend of it.
Yeah, well,
a long weekend. We will see. We'll see whether I make it back from that long weekend.
Well, let's hope you get back. Yeah, I must admit I was a bit tempted to go on that, but the wife was not too keen on myself being away.
I'll take her with you.
Well, I suggested that. I did actually. Yeah. Tom, are you fancying a bit of Amsterdam?
I'm dead keen. I've got a feeling I've got a business trip there in September, so I just need to check dates. But if I'm free, I would be keen to do that.
That'd be a good one. And if anyone wants to find out some more information about that, there is a WhatsApp group specific to that trip, which you can get a link from the WhatsApp group. We'll probably need to start looking at updating some information onto the provincial page. But Tom, I think you're going to be looking at helping getting our own website up and running soon, aren't you?
Yeah. So we've now got our new logo, which seems to have been well received. The next stage is to look at a website to handle our events, really, so that it's easier to find what's going on, and then we can use the various social media channels to push people at that one central resource to to find information on what we do, the visits we're doing, the socials that we're doing. So yeah, exciting.
And some other events that we've got coming up. We've got the infamous Rob Collins has organised a shooting day on the Mendips.
And that looks like a lot of fun.
That does look like a lot of fun. Rob is one of the most enthusiastic persons I've ever met, never mind Freemasons. He's put some work into this, and I think that's on the 19th of August, that date, yeah. I'm certainly going to go for breakfast. And whether or not I let loose with a shotgun, I'm not sure about that.
So I think Rob's bringing about 6 guns, and he's a gun trainer as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I think it would be a good day. I think you should stay.
Well, I'm definitely going, but whether or not I actually take part in the shotguns or not, I don't know. And then I think we're going to try and get another beach day in, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
So probably September time, hopefully?
About September time again, yeah. We'll same sort of event. We'll look at Lyme Regis again. It just works for coastal-wise, even though it's not in Somerset, but if you go to the northern coast, you can't bring the boats in as close.
Yeah.
So, because the tides are out.
Yeah.
So it just limits the space. But down in Lyme Regis, we've got this powerboat club that we can hire out again and get the boats down there, and that will September time.
And we'll probably put a small charge on that again for the food, like a tenner or something, wouldn't it?
£10, £15, something like that.
Yeah.
It'll just cover the cost of the food, and wish your brother Scott Gibbons normally volunteers the fuel in the boats for free.
Oh, bless him.
Covers that cost himself.
As long as his boat works this time.
Yeah, that's it.
In fact, volunteer to go out first in case it breaks down, because I did. I had a drive on it. Got about 60 miles an hour up on the water. And I'll tell you what, it feels like about 140 miles an hour. As you're bobbing up and going on. Yeah. It's a great day. We were lucky with the weather.
And I guess that's a good one for people to bring their friends along to, isn't it? So if you're...
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's what we want, really.
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody that's interested in free rates, for me, it's a great day to just get involved, to see what the social side of it's like, meet other Masons that they've probably not met, and see whether Masonry is good for them and whether it's something they want to be part of. Absolutely.
So that's 2 of our 3 pillars, which is the visits that we do to lodges, the social trips that we put on, and of course just having a communications for light blues in Somerset for questions that they might not want to necessarily ask their lodge mentors. We've got quite senior light blues in the club, and a few of the other officers of the club who are now have provincial and grand rankers still involved to help us and mentor us as well, so that to make sure that we do things right.
It is, and the club's a really good conduit for that. So I've been the chairman, like you say, for the past 3 years, and during that time there's people that have moved into Somerset who are light blues and have seen the light blue club, or they've known about it from their previous light blue club. And they've got in contact and said, I'm moving to this area, which club, which lodge would be best for me to join. And they've come either to a social visit with us, or we've given them a recommendation and they've met an area rep, and they've then made connections through that, which has then helped them settle into the area.
It's fantastic. What pieces have you done, Ritual, so far?
I've done all the working tools. I've done a couple of the charges. Main showpiece, I suppose, is the second degree tracing board, which is a fantastic piece.
Have you done that in lodge?
Yes.
Yeah, I've done it.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I did it. I did it in November for the first time. I actually learnt it during lockdown. In fact, I did most of my learning in lockdown because I was furloughed. I had about 3 months on furlough.
Yeah.
And so, and of course we were all locked up and stuff. Yeah. I just got my nose in the book.
Yeah.
Is that how you just do it then? Just looking in the book? Because I have to walk around. I'm more of a practical person, so rather than just reading and repeating back, I have to do it numerous times. So my living room, I've got a coffee table, and that's the centre of the lodge. So I've just done a double second degree, and I would walk around the coffee table. So the fireplace was the junior deacon, the junior warden. The sofa was the senior warden, and then the worshipful master was the patio doors.
And what about the dog?
The dog sat under the coffee table just looking at me, going,
thinking you were barking mad.
But it got my floor work, so I knew where to go for the next bit, and I found that's the hardest part, reading the book, understanding where you have to move as a deacon.
It is important for a deacon that you actually do that. I do that, something very similar for the floor work for a deacon. What I've been doing, I've been practicing. I've just done my first ceremony as senior deacon for a raising, and I practiced that because that's the important bits, and it is a little bit confusing. The preambulations that you have to make are all slightly different, but not that much different.
Yeah.
So you have to really think. But if you're in a small temple like this is, you haven't got much thinking time because you literally step and you've got to be there.
Yeah.
Whereas on a longer walk, you can be thinking in your head what's coming next. Here it's just like you have to be really on the metal.
Yeah, and that's it. I find I get the words, 90% are there, And then I put the floor work in, and the words go back to about 60% there. And then you get over a week or so, they come all back together. And, you get it 100% at home, and you get to a lodge, and 50% drops out.
Oh, it's gone. I kind of learn visually, so I have to kind of create a story in my head that gives me the key pillars of what I'm learning. But that's a really good idea, putting it into a fake lodge at home, so you kind of get the floor work working.
I think that's the only way to do it, unless you're presenting tools, because you don't have to move anywhere there. You know, and you can just repeat those words afterwards. And I tend to break it down a couple of sentences at a time, nail that before moving on to the next.
Yeah, that's what I do. I learn a sentence and then learn the next one, then go back to the first one, learn, and then pick the next sentence up,
build upon it,
and just build up on it.
Yeah.
So I've got quite a cool app called Line Learner, which is used by actors and actresses, and you basically load in all the lines. You kind of talk them yourself, and you can play it in the car, or you can play it on a set of headphones or something, which is quite good as well. So then you can slow it down, or you can speed it up within the app, and obviously turn the volume down. So as you start to learn it more, you can turn that down the background, so it's kind of prompting you along as well.
Yeah, I did that. I recorded myself on the phone and then hated my voice, so I deleted it and got rid of that idea.
But I love learning ritual.
What's your best bit about masonry? What do you enjoy the most?
Performing the ceremony. That's where I get the real buzz.
Yeah.
I want to be involved.
Yeah.
I love visiting, but even when I visit, I want to be doing something. Love to do something, which is quite great because when we're in the Adair Club, we quite often stand up during the risings and say a little bit about the club, which is nice. It's getting involved.
Yeah.
I do like to get stuck in.
I think that's a good point actually, because if you're new to masonry, apart from maybe doing the tools in your own lodge, you don't really get that involved. And the Adair Club does provide like an opportunity to visit well beyond where your lodge is, but also get involved with things like you said, standing up in lodge and talking things through, and various other things like the events that we organise. So I think that does give new masons a chance to do something while they're waiting to go through the check.
Well, I suppose it depends on the lodge you're at. Some lodges are crying out for you to do lots of ritual.
Yeah.
Some are, and you jump in offices and work. But whereas some have got a big backlog of people that want to join, and therefore your opportunities are going to be a lot less.
So you're senior deacon, about to leave, I'm about to go in, and I joined in 2015. And obviously you've joined in 2019 and you're a year ahead.
Yeah.
So,
I think I was 15, 16 as well. I'm senior deacon until December.
Would you want it to go on any quicker?
No, it's just the way it would work. It worked out really because the amount of people that we had in front of me joining Royal Naval, and we're at that stage now. I think we've got 6 or 7 stewards, and we've got people joining all the time.
What do you think makes a thriving lodge?
You've got to have a demographic that can get on with everybody. Some older people want to just speak to older people, and you get good stories from older people as well. I brought a friend who lived in the village who was a mason, and he moved to Somerset, so I took him down to our lodge, and it turned out that he was a naval cadet, and he'd been on the Vanguard, the same as this other officer who was in our lodge, and that was their bond. They were similar age, and they found out that they'd both been on the Vanguard together so many years ago. But then again, that might not resonate with a younger mason, because he would go, well, what's a Vanguard? That's why this club's good, because it has a younger edge to it, or newer edge to it, and can bring a different way of thinking and different events, rather than just going for a 3-course meal in an afternoon and an evening dance. We've got all these different exciting events to do that are out there.
So I think sometimes when you're a new mason as well, you have to wait a month to the next meeting. So you're really keen, you're really excited about what you've just joined. You can only really do perhaps 8 meetings a year, whereas if you're visiting with other young masons as well, or new masons as well, then you can get a lot more active a lot quicker, if that makes sense. Once
you join a lodge, the fact that you get on the Adair Club WhatsApp page, you will see there is 5 or 6 summonses every month at least coming up. So if it's a ceremony that you can go to, it'll give you that opportunity. I think as well, there's other things, aren't there? So every now and again, someone will say, could you recommend an architect, or could you recommend a builder, or I think somebody recently was looking for a solicitor. So there's questions that are non-Masonic at all, but you can get a recommendation for something in the area that you live in. So there's lots of kind of angles to that WhatsApp chat, I think, which is quite good. It's just getting very busy at the moment. Yeah, I suppose that's the thing we're going to have to look at, actually, is the social media. The fact is that there is a lot of chat on the WhatsApp. Yeah. So we kind of need to, have a think about how we deal with that.
During COVID, it helped massively. I was getting requests from province asking if we could help out with certain members that were in a certain area, and each time I put on the WhatsApp group that somebody needed a prescription picking up in Taunton, for example, within 10-15 minutes it was, yep, I can do that, or I know somebody who can do that, and it was all sorted out. That group there is brilliant for networking, and you always get help no matter what.
I would love to hear your feedback on this podcast. Please do send me an email at chairman@youngmasons.co.uk. That's chairman@youngmasons.co.uk. Or text me a lovely message on 07803 925 815. If you're a Somerset Light Blue and you want to join the Adair Club, please email the membership secretary at membershipsecretary@youngmasons.co.uk, and we can send you a link to our WhatsApp page. Further details about the Adair Club can be found on the provincial website, which is somersetfreemasons.org. And finally, I would like to thank Adrian Moore for all his help in editing this podcraft, and Andy Wade and Shay Aziz for their IT and media support. Thank you. Now, this is a bit of an experiment to see how this goes, but if it does go well and we get some positive feedback, we may have a few very exalted guests we may interview. I've spoken to a few of the more senior members of the administration team, and they're quite keen to come on board. So do watch this space. We'll see how it goes. Right, hope to see you all again soon.